Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. It is Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach. Late, but we here nonetheless. We gonna make it do what it do. Here for another Sunday of You've Guessed It, the Success Starter Series. It's the last Sunday in the month of August. Y'all know I couldn't leave y'all like that. Y'all know we go live each and every Sunday where I give you tips and tools to help you do the work to set your week up for success. Because in doing the work to set your week up for success, you're doing the work to set your life up for success. And as your productivity and accountability coach, I'm here to help you do all that. I'm here for the vibes. All the things. And so let's tap in. Let's talk about it. It is the last Sunday in the month of August. Tomorrow is September 1st. We got the long weekend. I'm still doing my planning and preparation for September. Going to be honest about that. But I want to talk about balance. Balance isn't a lie. It's not. The question then becomes, are you in and are moving in alignment? Oftentimes we think, or people might tell you, I don't even want to say that we think, because the we don't include me. Because I'm here to I don't even want to say, I guess you could say shake things up and to tell you that balance isn't a lie. But balance also isn't 50-50. And so balance is possible. Work-life balance, business, career, whatever it is you're trying to balance. Ouch. It's possible. But we also have to acknowledge and understand that balance does not have to mean that all things are equal. Balance is wholeness. Balance is completeness. Balance is, okay, if I have too much of this, let me have a little bit less of this to make sure that it's balancing out and that I'm not doing the most in one area at the expense or the detriment of another area. So balance isn't a lie. And because balance isn't a lie, that's where it comes into play to make sure that you are moving in alignment, that you are being intentional, that you are, taking stock, taking care of what it is you're doing, how it is that you're doing it, and where it is, I guess you could say, that you're doing it as well. And so think about the idea of balance. And with that, I want you to look at it and be able to hopefully understand that chasing this idea of 50-50 is going to always leave you frustrated, because all things are not created equal. It's not. Our time isn't created equally, because realistically, if we look at our day, especially on Monday through Friday, if you work traditionally, Monday through Friday type job, but if you work full time, if you look at most of your day, the reality is that much of our day is spent working, sleeping, getting to or from work, and then outside of that, there's limited hours. So all our time isn't created equal, which is where when we have this free time, this downtime, which is where when it comes to finding the hidden time in your day, it's important, essential, vital, necessary, all of those words, to really look at it and to be able to understand, where is your time going? How is your time being spent? What is happening? That's really where it comes down to. And so if you stop chasing the idea of 50-50, because how often is it that you're only choosing between two things? Number one, let's just start there. Exactly. If you're not just choosing between two things in the first place, that's a clear sign and clear indication that all things aren't equal, and that the 50-50 balance does not, I can't get the word out, exist. Because here's something going off in here and I'm trying to get it. Okay, here we go. Okay. And so that's where the whole if you're never choosing, and I don't want to say never, if most often you're not just choosing between two things, that's a clear sign that chasing 50-50 isn't going to work. Because if you're looking at three things, for example, the 50-50 ain't gonna work. That's 33 right there. Well, 33 and a third if you want to be specific. And so we can't chase balance as 50-50, because you're not choosing between two things. You're choosing between, do I want to sleep in? Do I want to get up on time? Or, okay, those are two choices. But then once I get up, do I want to go for a walk, journal, call my friend? I don't know. It's rare that we literally have only two choices that we're choosing between. So we can't look at balance as being 50-50. But at the same time, balance isn't a lie. You're just defining it wrong. If you're defining balance as 50-50, that's the problem. Balance is wholeness. If you have three choices and you're choosing between three things, that's still wholeness. There is still balance in there. And it isn't all things created equal. So you don't have to look at balance however you're dividing it as everything needs equal attention. Everything needs equal time. Everything needs equal resources. It's not. You get to decide and define for yourself in your life day in and day out, week in and week out, because it can change each day, each week, each month. What is your focus? If today the focus is your kids, if today the focus is your family, then that's where it is. I'm late doing this live because though I have the dedication and the commitment to show up live each and every Sunday, and though more times than not, we're on time, there are times where something's got to give. And today was one of those days. Like, I went home to spend time with my family for, Labor Day or whatever, cookout, all of that. And then with that, spending time with my family, leaving to get back home, all of that. It was like, something's going to give. Y'all still going to get this live. I'm still going to do my brain down, my to-do list, plan out my week, all of that. But the time within which I did it had to give. Can y'all believe I didn't work out today? This will literally be the first time all year, August 31st, like 9 months into the year, that I didn't do at least one workout. I didn't go for a walk. I didn't go for a run. I didn't stretch. I didn't do a workout. I didn't. Now, I walked up and down some stairs and stuff. Like, I took the stairs, blah, blah, blah. Like, I moved my body in that sense. And let me see where I'm at on my steps. Now, I'm only halfway through my step goal for the day. But I'm pretty positive. Let me see. Can I reach this? This is my little color tracker that I color in for my workouts. Before I lie, let me make sure I'm not lying to y'all. January, February, March, April, May. Yeah. The first day all year that I have not done a workout. At least one. Do I feel guilty about it? No. Because what I'm going to do tomorrow, workout. And because it's a holiday, I'm also going to get to go running. And the thing, tomorrow's September, so we're kicking off a new month and new goals anyways. I beat my mileage goal for August twice. Like, the original goal that I set when I set my goals for the month, beat it. And because of how many days that was still left in the month, I was like, gonna set another one. Beat that one too. So, but balance. Is not working out for one day gonna cause me to, have all this derailed progress or anything like that? No. Is the way that I've been eating potentially for the last month or so going to derail the progress? Yes. But that's repetitious. That's a thing that's being repetitive and being repeated over time as opposed to one day. And so stop looking at balance as being 50-50. Stop looking at balance as, whose dog is this in my backyard? Stop looking at balance as being 50-50. Stop looking at balance as all things being equal. It's not. And so what does aligned balance actually look like? Do you know what that is? Do you know aligned balance? Have you defined aligned balance? So what is aligned balance? Aligned balance is about you deciding and defining balance for yourself. What does that mean and what does that look like? What is important to you? Aligned balance is, because all things aren't equal, how can I move in alignment? How can I show up, be consistent in what it is that I'm doing, where it is that I'm going, how it is that I need to get these various things done in a way that is in alignment with my goals, my priorities, my, all of that for yourself. And doing so in a way that allows you to prioritize what needs to be prioritized in the way in which it needs to be prioritized for you. So what is aligned balance? You get to define it. I can give you the framework, I guess you can say, for you to utilize as you're defining aligned balance. But at the end of the day, ultimately, you get to define what is aligned balance. How do you want it to be? How do you want it to show up? How do you want to exhibit it? How do you want to exude it? What is aligned balance to you? You get to decide it. You get to define it. You get to let it be as you navigate. And so, as you go into and through different seasons, various seasons in the day, in the week, and in life, that's where you're defining this balance for yourself. And as you go through these various seasons, these various times, these various, traits, you're defining this balance. And so you might be in a season where, for example, the summertime, we just came off of summer, schools coming, schools back in play. Maybe in the summertime, aligned balance is a lot of downtime, a lot of family time. Whereas now that school is back in, it's a lot more about structure. It's a lot more about systems. It's a lot more about schedules, as opposed to a lot more freedom. And not that schedules aren't freeing, but in the sense of, kids don't have a bedtime, you don't have a bedtime, nobody don't have a bedtime, whatever. Maybe it's less of that and more of, okay, what does this look like? How am I moving? How am I showing up? How am I doing? Maybe when you look at it, you think about aligned balance. In that regard, you're looking at it from the framework of what is going on for me in this season of my life. I have a heavy season of travel and things like that that's coming up for me. And so as I look at and think about that, I'm like, okay, what is it going to mean to be balanced? What things can I strip down to the bare minimums, the essentials? How much planning and preparing can I do in advance to make it to where it's more helpful? Even me a couple weeks ago when I was I've been kind of just going through the motions on the weekend, and I haven't really been, the most productive, the most efficient, because I've just been kind of I'm just gonna, sleep in. I'm gonna just wake up. I'm gonna whatever. But then when I realized, number one, that wasn't working for me. But then also in the midst of this don't work for me, also acknowledging and seeing the what's the word that I want to use? This specific instance of, okay, let's do something about this. This specific instance of, hey, I need to buckle up. This weekend, for example, knowing that I was going to be gone, yesterday, with family or whatever, being intentional when it came to my to-do list, what I was putting on my to-do list, things of that nature. Knowing that tomorrow, being that I was gone all day yesterday and I got home today a little bit later than I, anticipated or thought, what am I going to do with that information, basically? How am I going to not help this? How am I going to utilize this, going forward? So tomorrow, though it's an off day, I'm going to get up as if it's a work day to buy back time. It's not me really getting out of a routine, because Monday through Friday, this is the time I wake up. Tomorrow is Monday. Generally speaking, I just wouldn't have had to wake up at this time because, but because my Saturday was not a wash, wasn't, no planning or anything like that happened. Today, I only really have an hour or so to get it together. And actually, I got a meeting that I think we're still doing that's in a little bit. So that's going to take up my time, tonight, if that is still happening. And so with that, aligned balance is looking at the season that you're in. The benefits of doing a weekly brain dump and to-do list is it lets you look at the season, i.e. these next 7 days, and look at, am I going to be here, there, and everywhere? Where is my time need to be spent? Where does my time need to be allocated? What can I do to prioritize and plan and strategize better? And then with that, what can you do as you're doing this brain dump and to-do list, as you're working on scheduling out your time, to make sure that you're bringing peace to yourself, that you're being, balanced. And I know the whole life is about balance, but what can you do to bring yourself peace as well as structure, like scheduled structure at the same time? Peace and structure can coexist. It can. For me, structure is what gives me peace. Maybe for you, you're like the idea of following a schedule or something like that feels overwhelming, feels stressful. But where is the balance in that? Are there things that you can, like maybe you're not like me to where you plan out your entire day, or like you time block out your day and identify what it is that you need to get done today. Or maybe for you, it is just identifying what you need to get done today whenever it gets done. So creating your definition of peace with still having some semblance of a schedule or some structure that gives you the framework within which to move. You can have peace and structure at the same time. You can have balance and structure at the same time. You can have balance and peace at the same time. You can have alignment and balance, alignment and structure, alignment and peace. All these things can coexist together. You just have to create it. Balance isn't a lie. The question is, are you moving in alignment? So I hope that this has been helpful for you. It's been Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach, here for another Sunday of the Success Starter series. We're going into the month of September. Stay tuned for the theme and all of that jazz, but it's time to get in alignment. It's time to create your definition of balance. It's time for you to have aligned balance in your life. If you're looking for support, help, accountability, resources, all of that, reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out what aligned balance can look like for you. Because balance isn't a lie. But are you moving in alignment? That's the question. So until next time, it's been Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach. Coach Lee is